George Bernard Shaw, a founding father of the London School of Economics, once stated that the people who get on in this world are those who look for a particular circumstance, and if they cannot find it, they make it themselves, they create it themselves. And as a matter of fact, his statement is a statement of truth, and it is a statement of who we are, the purpose for which we are here on earth. We are here to create, to co-create with a higher power that animates us. And the way our creation comes around is we always face what we call challenges. But as a matter of fact, they are not challenges, but they are what we call contrast. We are submerged in contrast, and contrast helps us to form our desire. That is to help us to make choices. We have the freedom of choice, the free will to choose. And without contrast, we will not know what we want. And that is why, if you are not hungry, food is irrelevant to you. But if you are hungry, you know that you need food to satisfy your hunger. So you take the necessary steps to get food, you see. And so that is how life is. We are supposed to look around us. And if there is a particular circumstance that is missing in our lives, we deliberately make efforts and cooperate with the forces in the universe to create that circumstance. And that is how every group of people, every individual that we call advanced have operated to go to where they are. Difficulties or challenges, but I call it life contrast, are not anything that we are supposed to run away from. But they are the challenges, they are the things that triggers our desire for solution. And once we desire the solution, if we open our minds, God will let the solution flow through us. That is the ideas that will come to you. And when you take the idea and develop it, you move yourself from a lower state to a higher state, you see. And so, if you look at our setup, and I'm speaking particularly about Africans. Africans have the wrong view of life, especially when it comes to development. We do not have the concept that we are creators, and therefore we are to create our own realities. And as a matter of fact, reality is not fated, and reality is not done by anyone. We create our own reality. And the way we create our own realities is to look around your circumstance, your environment, your life. If there is something that is not going on well, you deliberately use your mind to create a solution. And that was what George Bernard Shaw stated, you see. So if you take Africa, and if I'm to use Ghana as a case study because I'm from Ghana, you will see the kind of mentality that runs through every fiber of our society. Everyone, regardless whether the person is educated, the person is not educated, the person is what and what. There is one thing that lacks in the African setup, and that is the mindset that we create our own reality, and therefore we have to rise up to change our circumstances by creating what we want. You develop the desire and then dwell upon it and allow that desire, the idea that is needed drops into your mind. Then you create it, you bring it to the outer world. And so when you look at Ghana or Africa, you go anywhere, starting from the palace of the chief or the king, they are making requests to a higher power somewhere to come and help them. The household, they are making a request to a higher power somewhere to come and help them. You go to the parliament house, you go to the executive, the government office, the office of the president. It's request. The only thing that is missing in the African equation, that the African doesn't talk about is the idea that must be developed as a solution to his or her problem. You see? And so this is how we have brought, where we have brought ourselves. The lack of the right mental attitude, the lack of the right mindset that a human being is not supposed to be created for. A human being is, nothing is to be done for the human being, but we are supposed to do it ourselves. And when we do it ourselves, we share it with the world. And that becomes our trademark. That becomes our success that we are showing as a contribution to the evolution of the human race. That is a fact. And so if you look at Africa, we are living in a false world. It doesn't matter whether you are educated or whatever, where every African that you will meet, Ghana, if you take Ghana in particular, they are not talking about ideas. They are talking about raw materials. They are talking about that, and we need investment. We need this. We don't have technology. We don't have that. And so this is the mindset that we clothed ourselves with. And so nothing new, nothing revolutionary is coming out of our continent, our nations, because we lack the mindset of deliberate creation. And now is the time, now is the awakening that you are born and created in the image of God. And the only purpose for which you are here on earth here is to create, is to co-create. Many ideas, many thoughts are running through your mind. And there are a lot of challenges that surrounds you. The challenges are the opportunities. And as they say, the bigger the challenge, the greater the accomplishment. So if you look at Africa, our problems, our challenges, if the African minds will rise to look for the solution from within ourselves and we develop it, the magnitude of our success will be equal to the challenges that we are facing. Then we will become the leaders of the world. This is the true mentality. This is the true mindset. And I call it the eagle mentality. And so you are born as an eagle, as an African, or as any human being. I'm speaking to African, but this is applicable to every human being. You have the power and ability to change your life and everyone around you. But it all begins from you using your mind deliberately, controlling your mind deliberately to co-create with all the forces in the universe. This is the message, and that is the inspiration. Thank you.